Hello friends, in today's video we are going to go over some ways to do destructive elements without using a DOP net. We're going to dive right in and start with the geometry node as normal, and we are going to add a box. And for this tutorial we are going to use this box as like a pad of concrete. And so that is our piece of sidewalk or whatever it is. And we are going to fracture it. And this isn't my favorite tool. It's new in Houdini 17, the material fracture. Well, it's not my favorite tool for concrete. Even though that's what they made this preset for, just because everything looks so geometrical. It doesn't really sell it for me, but it's fast, and it's, you know, the point of this tutorial is not to show you how to fracture things. So we're going to go ahead and use it for this. Might have gone a little bit. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and fracture it with that node, and then we're going to pack the pieces. So I'm going to put down a connectivity node, do primitives. Under that we'll do a wrangle and type in s for string at name equals, I like to call them chunks, and then plus I to a integer at class and semicolon. And this needs to be running over primitives. Now we can pack this and use the name attribute. And now we have a packed pre-fractured piece of concrete. Awesome. Okay. Now we are going to add a grid, and we are going to match this size to the size of our concrete. Just nest it right in there. And we want this to be pretty high res. I'm actually, instead of changing the rows and columns, I'm just going to remesh this after. And that's probably good. Sweet. Okay. Next thing that we're going to do, I'm gonna go over a couple different ways that we can kind of mess this up a little bit. The first one is we're going to use a soft transform. I'm gonna use it on here. And we're going to, on the group, we're just going to select some areas that we're going to have places like dip. Oh, hit enter to select, and we'll kind of do this sort of thing. And then we will dip those divots down. Cool. Then back over to our network, we are going to drop down a point deform. You feed the packed geometry into the far left. The unaltered grid into the middle as the rest position, and the soft transform into the far right. And now our sidewalk is all messed up, like we wanted it to. So you can see, so we can model this out pretty quickly. And then you can also make those a little bit sharper if you wanted to. But yeah, super simple. If you wanted to as well, you could also just, this won't be as controlled, but it is an option. Just throw a mountain node in there. And now your stuff is broken once again. The other application that I wanted to show you guys on this type of concept is how to activate that sort of deformation based on like an animation or something. And so I have a character already set up right here, and so he's gonna like get thrown or fall or whatever, and we're gonna have our concrete break according to his impact. And the reason that this is helpful is just because if you're doing really complex shots or bigger shots, this type of thing is a lot lighter than a DOP simulation. And so if you're able to get the look that you want out of this, then your whole system is going to be lighter and things should run a little bit better. So we're going to take this guy and we are going to apply a color to him. And he will be red. We are going to apply color to our high-res mesh, and it will be black. And then we're just going to use a simple attribute transfer. Just going to be transferring that color attribute, and we are going to want this to be pretty close to his body. Go ahead and template his animation. Okay. So this is just an animation off of Mixamo, and it's not my favorite for this type of thing because of his arm coming in so early. But we'll use it anyway because it's fine for a proof of concept. But all that we're going to do after this is we're going to take the points that have turned red from this attribute transfer, and we're going to just move them down. And real simple at position.y minus equals at color.r. And then that's going to be really extreme. So we'll add a multiplier. So ch for channel, and then the name of the channel will be molt. Oh my heavens. Close parentheses, semicolon, and then click the channel generate button. And then when we go down to our point deform, we can see that these things are breaking around him. And you can kind of play with like the blend. And stuff to kind of get the look that you want. And then that should, so like, I mean, it's gonna bug me even for this proof of concept, but I'm gonna go ahead and put in if at frame is greater than 55. But still, yeah, just something like that. And I mean, obviously, for your own setup, you would probably spend a little bit more time worrying about this, but that's the general idea. And you can go in and tweak parameters and your fractures and everything to art direct that and end up with something really nice looking. But yeah, that's how you can go about creating some destruction elements without a DOP.NET. I hope you found it useful. And if you have anything else that you'd like me to cover, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I will see what I can do.